Hello, everyone. My name's Tina Yolette, and I'm going to be talking about the grit theory. So, I was introduced to the word grit a couple years ago from my daughter's swim team. My daughters were student athletes. That was their word. They had it on their bags, they had it on their arms. And the students really brought their grit. The swimmers, I'm sorry, brought their grit that season. So, what exactly is the grit theory? So, the grit theory emphasizes perseverance, it talks about passion. It's a popular view that states that if you work hard enough, you will be successful. And this was developed by Angela Duckworth. Although, and she pretty much argues that with enough grit, anyone can overcome obstacles and achieve their goals. While this is a valuable theory in certain contexts, it doesn't always account for the systemic issues that prevent success, especially for those facing extreme poverty. 12 million US children face food insecurity. There's a case study in Camden, New Jersey, which was quite an eye opener for me, where I saw children who are dealing with homelessness, unsafe living conditions, limited access to basic resources, and daily survival skills. All right, there was a case of it with that kid, Ivan Stevens, for instance. He was a homeless kid, and where they had to put padlock on his refrigerator so that others would be prevented from stealing the little food they had. So these children are not lacking in grit. However, they are lacking in basic resources. They face circumstances that no amount of perseverance or no amount of grit can help them to overcome. So, as a society, we need to look at these historical barriers, right, that these students face. For instance, we have to look at past discriminatory practices. We have to focus on issues like redlining in a housing market. We have to focus on selective company recruitment. We have to focus on neighborhood segregation, limited access to mortgages, and basic daily survival challenges. So we have to look beyond individual effort, which is what the grit theory emphasizes. So basically, grit alone is not enough. We have to look at the unequal starting points. We have to focus on the systemic barriers, as we talked about, because most of these children have limited access to quality education. They have limited access to safe housing. They have limited access to nutritious food and healthcare. Nutritious food, for instance, I always make sure that I have snacks in my room for my students. Because I think as educators too, we have to show empathy. It's not just about, oh, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Like, this is not it. We need to address the root causes of poverty and inequality if we want to create an environment where grit, in my opinion, can truly make a difference. All right, so we need a better approach. We need to create real opportunities, and this requires addressing these systemic inequalities, providing basic resources to these students, supporting these communities, and absolutely changing unfair policies. These are issues that must be addressed if we want to really get to the root cause of these problems that these children face. So moving forward, here are some recommendations based on the research and the videos that I watched. We need to combine personal effort with systemic change. We need to focus on both individual and structural solutions. And we also need to create access to opportunities and support these communities in need. So only then can we ensure that all children, regardless of their background, have an equal opportunity to thrive. So while this may have been a great word for my daughters in sports, it does not transcend into poverty.